Technology acknowledges that our campuses are located on the unceded traditional territories of the Coast Salish nations of Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh.
Good morning, BC, and welcome into your 11 o'clock sports update. I'm Elijah Ford. We start our update today with our reporter, Keone Moe, who is here to give us some insight on inclusivity in sports. He's talking to gay rugby players today about what it's like being queer in the world of sports. Keone, thanks for being with us. I guess I'll start with the question that's probably on most people's mind. What percentage of people are closeted while playing?
Yeah, great question, Elijah. Actually, up to 81% of people remain closeted while playing, with up to 19% saying that they've been physically assaulted in some way. And this is all coming from a study from out on the fields.
So what does that mean for people in the audience?
Well, that same study came back and they said that 78% of people don't believe that they themselves even would be safe as a spectator at a sporting event. Well, 80% of people report that they themselves have witnessed homophobia in some shape or form.
Thanks so much, Keone, for your insight into that very important topic.
Thank you.
The Toronto Blue Jays are one win away from their first World Series championship since 1993 after they handedly defeated the Los Angeles Dodgers last night 6-1. The Toronto Bats came out on fire with Davis Schneider and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hitting back-to-back home runs off of two-time Cy Young winner Blake Snell's first and third pitches of the game, the first consecutive home runs to start a World Series game ever. Blue Jays pitcher Trey Savage was a force of nature last night, setting a World Series rookie record with 12 strikeouts. He also only allowed 3 hits over 7 innings against a stacked Dodgers lineup. Jays manager John Schneider says Savage blew him away with his on-field performance.
Historic stuff, you know what I mean? When you talk about that stage and his numbers, getting ahead of a lot of hitters, tons of swing and miss, you know, it's one thing to be in the zone, and it's another thing to be in the zone and get some swing and miss. So
the Blue Jays will have a chance to close out the series at home tomorrow night. Kevin Gausman is expected to start for the Jays. The Dodgers are expected to counter with their ace Yoshinobu Yamamoto, who pitched a complete game against the Blue Jays in Game 2. The first pitch is set for 5 p.m. The Vancouver Canucks are down south tonight for a matchup in St. Louis against the Blues. The Blues are one of the teams looking up at the Canucks in the standings, sitting only 3 points behind. The Canucks will be shorthanded, however, with captain Quinn Hughes and star forward Connor Garland both missing the trip due to injuries. Vancouver will be looking to get their record back to 500 after dropping their last game 2-0 to the middling New York Rangers. With a win tonight, the Canucks will once again be tied with the Chicago Blackhawks for the final wild card playoff spot in the Western Conference. Puck drop is set for 5 p.m. The Canadian Football League announced today that 6 BC Lions players have been named to the West Division All-CFL team for 2025. The 6 players included quarterback Nathan Rourke, receiver Justin McInnes, and defensive end Matthew Betts. Rourke was also named a finalist for the CFL's George Reed Award for Most Outstanding Player. The Lions are set to play in the semifinals of the Grey Cup playoffs on Saturday, where they open up as 5-point favorites against the Calgary Stampeders. The game is set to take place at BC Place for a 2:30 kickoff. The Toronto Raptors lost their 4th straight game last night, 139-121 to the Houston Rockets. Toronto's defense was the story of the game once again, with their defensive rating falling to 2nd worst in the NBA. Toronto is now 1-4 to begin their season. Their next chance to snap their losing skid is tomorrow against the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Colorado Avalanche have agreed to terms on an 8-year extension with forward Martin Necas. The contract is reported to be worth $11.5 million a year with a full no-move clause through the first 7 years of the deal. In 11 games to start the season, Necas has 7 goals and 13 points, while averaging over 21 minutes of ice time on a first-place Avalanche team. Also in the NHL tonight, there are 11 games, including 5 Canadian teams. Thank you so much for tuning in to your 11 o'clock sports update. I've been Elijah Ford for BCIT's The Crow.
Stay tuned for more on BCIT's 1680 The Crow.
The hands-on part of the program is the main thing that drew me to the program, and it's the main thing that I'm taking away from this program. There's no experience like just being able to go out and practice and do the work, and been able to do that both here in the newsroom, out on the internships, multiple internships that I've been able to go on, and I think it'll serve me very well.